Guilty pleasures. We all got them. That one popular song you make fun of with your friends and then go home and sneak a listen on private mode. Or that song you know is objectively bad, but you just can't get it out of your head, so you end up listening to it ashamed of who you are. Even I, who thinks that nothing should be a guilty pleasure, I'd be lying if I said there weren't some things that I just won't play around other people, out of just not wanting to explain the context of why I like it. I've done a video like this with albums, but I feel like having a whole guilty pleasure album is a little more niche, whereas everybody has at least one guilty pleasure song. So I asked you guys for your guiltiest pleasure songs, and I'm going to be the judge of whether you should feel guilty or not. Let's begin. How You Remind Me by Nickelback. Divorced Dad banger. The fact that just reading that title got it stuck in my head instantly. This is how you remind me of what I never was. Nickelback as a whole is kind of one of those bands that you don't really tell people you're into, but like sometimes you just have a bad day, you get off work, you're driving home thinking about life, and just nothing will hit like some Nickelback. I hate that I'm saying this. I used to be a Nickelback hater. Then my girlfriend made me listen to a whole Nickelback album in the car, and I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't enjoy it. So they might be a little cringe. They might just be known as this divorced dad meme band, but I feel like this is in the same tier as that one Rascal Flatts song. It's just some good old-fashioned dad rock, and they don't make it like that anymore. Not Guilty, the Home Depot song. It's a bit too good. I gotta hear the song again. I don't even remember how it goes. That drop? Are you serious? I see what you're saying. That has to be one of the best. What do you call that one? It's a theme song for a brand. Whatever it is, that's gotta be one of the best ones. This isn't sponsored by Home Depot, so don't do this. But look, that made me want to go to Home Depot. That made me want to start a project. I don't even have a backyard, but that made me want to like go buy a bunch of plywood and build a deck. What happened to going this hard with your jingle? I feel like I haven't heard a new jingle that's good in years. Though ads in general have gotten so bad now that I don't even really see like normal store ads anymore. I don't even know if Home Depot really does ads anymore. Probably if you're a divorced dad. You know what other jingle kind of went crazy? Is the O'Reilly one. You know, thinking about it, I'd be a little happier in a capitalist society if they brought jingles like this back. Not Guilty. Most Things by Baby No Money. I have this urge to listen to it every night, and it hits so hard, but gang cannot know I fuck with it. I kind of feel this one, though I don't really listen to Baby No Money. I used to like a few of his songs, but his newer stuff has been going in like a different kind of EDM-y commercial direction. Like, I hate to say this, but the dude has become really good at making TikTok songs, and for someone that's never taken his career super seriously, I completely respect it. That said, to be caught listening to some of these songs, I would be a little embarrassed, but it could be a lot worse. There's people making stuff similar to Baby No Money, but they're completely serious about everything they do. At least Baby No Money is an aware, funny, likable dude. I don't want to say you should feel guilty for this, but don't get mad if someone hears it and calls it coworker music, because I mean, they wouldn't really be wrong. Not Guilty. Closer by the Chainsmokers. Literally the most generic 20-teens garbage pop, but I frick with it so heavy for some reason. What does this song sound like again? I've got such mixed feelings on this one. I feel like I should hate this song more than I do, but it's not that bad. It's generic, it's bland. I would call it uninspired if it came out more recently, but at the time, this hadn't been overdone a million times. You know, I honestly don't think I've ever listened to this whole song before. I've just heard the chorus. I didn't realize it got more generic. I don't know, this is the kind of thing that like, if someone put this on and thought it was a banger for nostalgic purposes, like you loved this song in high school or middle school, I would be like, hell yeah, nice. We all got that generic radio stuff that's just nostalgic because it was big when we were kids, but to listen to the whole song, it gets so boring. I feel kind of bad about this one, but I'm gonna say Guilty. Hand Crushed by a Mallet by 100 Gex. People may hate it, but this song turns any Gex night into a Gex year. What does that mean? You know, people hate a lot of Gex songs, and as a Gex fan, I respect it. It's like being a fan of Harsh Noise. You can love it as much as you want, but you can't get upset when someone hears it and thinks it's the worst thing they've ever heard. There are a lot of people that clown on 100 gecs, but I have seen it firsthand as being the one friend that actually likes them and seeing my other friends clown on them as a meme. I watched them gradually become less and less ironic about how much they were enjoying it. The hater to fan pipeline with them is kind of crazy. That said, Hand Crushed by a Mallet is kind of a crazy one. Even I can get a little annoyed by that song. I feel like if I say not guilty, it's gonna seem like I'm biased because I'm a fan of theirs, so let's say guilty. Not guilty. Literally the entire Scene Queen discography, I don't know if this counts as a guilty pleasure, but everything she made is bangers. This was like the top comment, and I don't think I've heard anything by them. Let me see.
Barbie's been a princess way too long.
Barbie's got a gun with no safety on.
I'm alone, and I felt embarrassed listening to that. I don't know a bunch of context about this band, so I'm not entirely sure if they're being serious. It seems like it's satirical. At least I hope so. I don't like it. It actually gave me like a pit in my stomach of cringe. But if you like it, there's nothing wrong with that. I see why it's your guilty pleasure. I think I would stick to headphones with this one. Guilty. Pink Pony Club by Chapel Roan. I listen to rock and metal, but Chapel is my goat for real. Okay, if you just put Pink Pony Club, I would have been like, oh, what's the big deal? It's a pretty good song. Yeah, it's a pop song. It's played on the radio, probably overplayed like everything on the radio, but I don't think it's really obnoxious. And 9 times out of 10, I prefer to hear it over like Sabrina Carpenter. But the added context that you usually listen to metal makes us so much funnier. So think of your playlist just being like Sleep Token, and then the next Pink Pony Club by Chapel Roan. That's hilarious, and I love that for you. It also provides some interesting information for my ongoing theory that a lot of big metalheads are suppressed pop music enjoyers. So good on you for recognizing that Pink Pony Club is a banger. Not guilty. Hamilton soundtrack. Guilty. I'm just kidding. I think I covered this in the album video, and technically this shouldn't be here because this is an album. I think I was a little harsh on the Hamilton soundtrack when I mentioned it before. It's not my thing. I can't really get into a lot of musicals, and the kind of dramatic, like over-the-top tone they have in those songs, not something I'm usually looking for. A lot of people love the Hamilton soundtrack, so I don't know if this would really be like a guilty pleasure. It really depends on the context of what you usually listen to. If you're like the other guy and usually listen to metal and then a song from Hamilton comes on, that'd be a little weird. That'd be a little funny. Look, I'm fine with the Hamilton soundtrack existing and other people listening to it, just as long as they don't push its agenda on the rest of us. Not guilty. As It Was by Harry Styles. Don't listen to anything else by him, but honestly, that song is a banger. I've personally liked a lot of Harry Styles' older work, and I didn't really like As It Was when it came out.
You know it's not the same as it was.
I have grown to like it. I think as much as it was kind of overplayed on the radio and how mainstream it got, it's one of the least annoying big songs. It's just easy on the ears, and I feel like that's the case with a lot of big Harry Styles songs. Maybe not Watermelon Sugar, as someone that liked that song at first and got so tired of it, but still, as far as how good an overplayed radio song can be, As It Was by Harry Styles, Beautiful Whatever by Benson Boone. I take As It Was any day. Not guilty. Security from Donda 2. It just scratches that itch from something remotely similar to Yeezus for me.
Butt naked in the kitchen cooking grits.
You know, I've kind of felt the same about some other stuff from Donda 2, where I don't really listen to new Kanye stuff these days because it's usually not good, and I don't like him as a person.
I'm evil.
But it is weird hearing Donda 2 now, because I remember at the time when he showed it off at that listening party, it seemed so much worse compared to Donda, that everyone was clowning on it. And now that it's been kind of released on his like alt account years later after Vultures and all this other crap, it seems amazing. I genuinely forgot how much better his production and everything was just like 4 years ago. So I was a little surprised and a little sad listening back to it, just how much better it was than what he's putting out now. So honestly, I can't be too mad at this one, because it is hard to find stuff that genuinely scratches that Yeezus itch. I'm gonna say not guilty. Hohei will always be my guilty pleasure, not because my friends don't fuck with it, but because I shouldn't really fuck with it. The type of shit I listen to, I'm better than this. I feel this. Like I said in the beginning, we all got that song that we listen to, we enjoy it, but we feel ashamed. You know you're better than that. You usually listen to good music. I get it. I don't like Hohei. I think it's kind of annoying.
I belong with you, you belong with me, my sweetheart.
But I'll listen to Old Owl City and totally jam out to it.
Please take a long hard look through your textbook.
So I can't even make fun of you for liking one of these millennial core songs. It's fine. Not guilty. Anxiety. I'm assuming you're talking about the Doechii song,
Is my anxiety.
which has gone through a really interesting arc, going from being an unreleased song that people want her to release to her actually releasing it and it getting so big that it's overplayed and people hate it. That's gotta feel crazy to her. Like, what do you people want? And it's insane the kind of switch that people have had in their attitude towards Doechii, because right before that, all of the discussion about her was that she's gonna be the next GOAT. She's co-signed by Kendrick. She put out one of the best rap albums of the year. And then this one song gets huge on TikTok and people get annoyed by it. And she's an annoying industry plant. I swear, I can't tell sometimes if TikTok is doing irreparable damage to the music industry or helping it. I think it's the first one, because it is crazy how many people hate a 5-year-old unreleased song. Not guilty. Last one, I Love It by Ye and Lil Pump. I saved this one for last because this is one of my guilty pleasures. I remember when this song came out, everybody was making fun of it, including me.
You're such a fucking hoe. I love it.
It's such a laughably bad song. They came out with that crazy music video in the Roblox outfits and this stupid song. But God, it's so catchy. It's so catchy. This is one of those random songs that is implanted in my brain a little, where I'll just be doing day-to-day tasks sometimes and it just pops in my head. Lil Pump doesn't sound bad on the song for once, and Kanye is so silly on the track, and at this time at least he was more of just like an innocent troll, or at least it still felt like that. So it was pretty funny that he had this just stupid feature, and even though it's probably one of his worst verses on a song, objectively it's so catchy. And you might make fun of me for agreeing with this Roblox song, but I love it. Not guilty. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you can look at me the same, knowing that Lil Pump song gets stuck in my head from time to time, and that I like Old Owl City. And I think it's good to get these things out there. You know, people need to be less ashamed of their guilty pleasures and more ashamed of other things, like not joining my Discord or not liking and subscribing if you like the video. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Your boyfriend